up, Trippy? What's up, Bobby? How you doing? Just gonna get this link shared on Instagram. Bear with me here, guys. Internet's slow tonight. Gotta have them post notifications on. Yeah, I didn't plan this ahead. I was just like, yeah, now would be a good time to go live for a bit. I'll answer your question in a second, Trippy. I'm just getting this link shared on Instagram here. Sorry, guys, it's being super slow. Okay. Yeah, Trippy. So you can't pass smog and your check engine light is on. What do I recommend for it? The first thing to do would be to use a BMW, use a scanner that can read BMW codes, because that's going to help you a lot more than going to, say, O'Reilly's and having their code reader check them, because the generic codes don't really give as much detail and sometimes they can point you in the wrong direction. So my recommendation is to use INPA or Pro Tool. Uh, Try to find someone local by you that has one. If you need it done fast and you can't buy one of those things, because that would be the best thing to do first to kind of pinpoint the issue. Um, are you failing smog just because the check engine light is on, or are they doing a sniffer test and it's failing? It's failing. So they actually have the smog sniffer in your tailpipe, and it's putting out too much fumes. Okay. So it could be your cat's failing, and these are guesses, right? Because I don't have your car in person. I don't have a code reader hooked up to it, but most likely it could be your cats are failing, one or two of them, or you could have a misfire or it's running rich or something like that. But yeah, the main thing would be able to figure out what those codes are because that'll tell you exactly which of those things it would be. So yeah, check those codes. Hey bro, hey bro, I got N51. How do I make it hit 270 horsepower? That's pretty easy. At the crank, you could do just the 22 RPD tune and headers, and that'll get you there. They can't get it to pass under the table. They're charging you 500 bucks for it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of to be expected. Unfortunately, nowadays the EPA is pretty strict on emissions regulations. So just you got to get that code scanner on there and fix what the actual issue is so that you could pass. Bobby's using Pro Tools for the diagnostic and coding. They have an option for gauges to monitor certain things like AFR, oil temp, etc. What would be some of the most important things to watch? Um, you know what? I don't even really monitor that stuff on my car. I guess you could see probably oil temp and coolant temp would be the main ones. Yeah, pretty much just what you mentioned would be the main ones I would look at. Because once you have your if you're tuned and you have your tune dialed in, you shouldn't really have to look too much at like timing or knock and all that. Basically, you do one data log and then check that. Do you think N51 can handle 350 to 400 to the wheels all stock besides radiator and fuel pump? Um, well, I'd imagine you're running boost to hit those numbers. You absolutely need bigger injectors for that horsepower. Um, yeah, probably. The rods are weaker than the N52, so I wouldn't rev it super high. I'd keep the stock red line, and with the supercharger, you're not going to be making a lot of torque. So yeah, I think that's probably doable. I mean, you can definitely hit it. The question is just how it'll handle that. Um, but yeah, if it was my car, I'd probably just send it. Hello, boss. I wonder if you could answer a couple of N52 questions for me. Yeah, if you ask them, I can answer them. What did you do to your car? A lot. I did the 22 RPD Stage 3 supercharger, and that comes with water meth injection and injectors. And I also added a different intake pipe to it that was custom. And I think that's it, like supercharger wise. Oh, and I'm running the smaller pulley. I'm running a 3.25-inch pulley. I'll actually post a link here in the chat um, with everything I've done to my car, like the complete list. And for that stage 3 kit from 22 RPD, it's 7,500 bucks, and that includes a full supercharger kit, smaller pulley, smaller belt, upgraded injectors, custom tune, a water meth injection system, and something else I'm forgetting too. Oh, spark plugs as well. Is your intake manifold off of an N54 or 5 series? It's off of N54. So I put AA headers and AA tune on my car, felt too raspy, wanted to change to N54 exhaust. I hung that after AA. I put N52 mid pipe connection to N54 exhaust from secondary cats all the way to the back of the car. I definitely felt an improvement. I wonder if I can get all that tuned together at the same time. Um, yeah, so it seems like you just did headers and exhaust. Yeah, 22rpd.com, N52 tune. We can tune it for whatever you do to it. Exhaust is absolutely not a problem to tune for. Um, all at once, obviously. It would just be the one tune to take care of all that. What's up, Lawrence? Is this the Lawrence I think it is? Yeah, Dr. Phantom. What's up, dude? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well and miss you, bud. If you're ever in Seattle, hit me up. Uh, are you still living in Chicago, or I think you're planning on moving to Colorado or something? Last we spoke, we got to catch up. Is that the original engine in your 330i? No, I bought the car with a blown motor for cheap, and then I replaced the motor right when I got it. Would you say your N52K LCI is better than N52? Um, that's tricky. The rods supposedly are a bit stronger on the updated N52 versus the mag cover, and they did have some other improvements. So technically, I would say the N52K is a bit better than the mag cover. Trippy, I appreciate you for the advice. Yeah, no problem. Lawrence, yeah, I'm still here. I haven't been to Chicago in a while. But I'll hit you up next time I'm in town. I've been meaning to visit family there. It's been quite some time since I've been over there. Hopefully, winter's not too bad for you over there right now. I'm sure you're covered in snow and wind chill right now. Well, it would be a second tune that overwrites their tune, which they originally sent me. I would want to do N54 tune as well as I have Flex Fuel Kit on it running up to E30. I wonder what I have to select to tune for E85, even though I run stock setup and just supplement with E through my Flex Fuel Kit. Okay. Oh, so you already have the AA tune. Yeah, so we would overwrite that tune completely because you can't run more than one flash tune at once. But we can absolutely tune for your current setup. Um, and we can also tune for that E30. You would want to do an E85 tune, even though you're using flex fuel, because it will be different timing. Thank you, Jay. It will be different timing than the. We got dinner over here. Where was I? Yeah, so get the E85 option because the timing tables will be different and the fueling will be different for that because your flex fuel system won't adjust timing. Um, but at E30, you might be able to just run the 93 octane timing tables. Um, I would say you could probably get away with not getting the E85 tune, but you can email us so you can actually reach out to the tuner. It's info. I'll put the email here. Just send an email asking if you need to purchase the E85 tune for that because I don't handle the pricing and stuff like that. Just send an email there, um, and the front desk guys will get back to you. But yeah, we can tune you for that absolutely. How many miles is on your engine now? Um, I replaced my cluster and it screwed up my miles. I need to virginize it so that it'll pull my actual miles. But I think I'm at like 130 or 140K, something like that. The chassis got like 200K on it. Lauren, sorry to interrupt BMW conversation. No, not at all. More, I'm happy to have you here. It's good to hear from you. I just got some snow today. Yep, it's about that time of the year in Chicago. Bro's looking like my boss during our Microsoft Teams meetings. What? What does that mean? You fired. You should do some roll races. Now we've got a bleep here. What swear word did you use? Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got six letter bleeps. So what swear word did you say that's 6 letters? But yeah, it's not really a roll race car even at all. It's built for time attack and autocross. I've just been kind of having fun um, ripping on it with a supercharger. But yeah, it's not like a roll race setup or anything like that. Ian, can 22 RPD sell just the smaller pulley and belt for the supercharger? We do have a an upgrade kit for those superchargers that you can buy that doesn't include the supercharger, and that's just going to be the upgrade parts and the custom tune for that. I'll send you a link here, and yeah, we can definitely sell it to you without the whole supercharger. That was Ian, and that link's there for that. What exhaust setup would work with AA headers and a Valvetronic muffler? I have an LCI E91. Um, a custom one. I'm assuming that's a single inlet Valvetronic muffler, so I'd probably do a 2 3/4 to 3-inch single exhaust and merge it at the transmission mount, and just run that straight to your Valvetronic muffler. And I would also put a Vibrant 17950 resonator in the middle, right before your rear chassis brace, and that should sound really good. That's what I've been on right now. I do feel a boost, but I was wondering if you can boost it with it as well. As do you think N54 exhaust provides enough flow for my NA N52? Yeah, even the stock exhaust with headers flows enough for the NA N52. You have plenty of exhaust flow with the N54 exhaust. Arguably, maybe a little too much in the mid pipes. Um, yeah, I mean, we have a lot of experience tuning N52s. You'll be happy with 22 RPD tune. You can definitely boost it, boost the power. I saw on 22 RPD a pin crank hub is recommended for the supercharger. How would that process be on the N52? And if I haven't done it already, would you make a video on how to do it? Um, yeah, so it's recommended above, I think, 375 horsepower, and it's more commonly an issue on automatic transmissions, especially if you have kickdown turned on and you're using the kickdown function, which I would recommend getting a Burger Motorsports kickdown delete. It's like $8. Um, just those big downshifts put more strain on the crank hub, and also um, the supercharger puts more strain on the crank hub. So that's why you kind of don't want to do both those things. Pin crank hub, what we what we do is the N54 pin crank hub. Insane Performance sells one. We have a couple guys running that one, and the process is the same for N52 as it is in N54. Basically, all you have to do is you take off your valve cover and you lock timing on the camshafts, and then you unbolt the crank hub bolt, you remove the front crank pulley, and then you take the tensioner out, and then you unbolt the vanos so that you have chain slack, and then you replace the stock crank hub with the pin crank hub, and also you have to drill into the crank hub if you use the pin one. Um, I don't know if I would do a video on that. Um, I think other people have probably done good videos on that before, but yeah, I don't know if I would wanna do a video on that 'cause, I haven't done one before, so I'd probably be just more focused on doing the job than making a decent video on it. So, other people have probably already made a better video than I could do on that. Um, but yeah, that's on my to-do list. I actually have a crank hub sitting on my laundry machine right now that still needs to go in, and I made, 440 wheel horsepower today on a stock crank hub. Um, we just went to E85. What else we got? Bro demoted me to N42. Yeah, you've been demoted, with no back pay. Uh, how do you think you'll do in roll races? Question mark. More bleeps on there. Are you saying a swear word at the end of your messages, or is it just, are you typing all those stars afterwards? Very curious. I think I'll do good in roll races. If I just get it in the gear that is at like puts me at like 5,000 RPM, it'll be in my power band the entire time with no boost lag. Uh, so yeah, it should do good. And the transmission shifts really quick on the 6HP 21. Um, yeah, I mean it should do decent. Would you ever consider installing a LSD in your 330i? Yeah, as soon as I can afford it. Join my Discord, $10 a month. I'll buy an LSD once I get like 50 members or something. I don't know. But yeah, I did make a Discord to do more N52 development stuff. And basically, if you join that Discord, I reply to you immediately, pretty much with any questions you have. And also, I'm going to start doing live streams specifically for the Discord members. Let's see if I can get a link up on that. There we go. Okay. So this is the link to the Discord, guys. Anyone who joins it, I appreciate it. I will answer all your questions first. You'll have first priority. Any questions you have, if you need help with your car, I will help you one on one there. Everyone else, I'm still answering questions to everyone for free as I always have, but I do sometimes run out of time. And if you need urgent responses and you want me to help you with something like more in depth and thorough, join the Discord and I will do that. Will 22 RPD N51 tune work good for removing catless headers codes? You won't have any codes with the N51 tune. Regarding the N52K, be careful if it's had the Vanos recall completed, or it can be a write-off waiting to happen. Yeah, that's absolutely true. You got to get that recall done. Appreciate you, man. Your build is what inspired mine. So this car is basically because of people like you in the N52 community. Thanks. That's a really nice thing to say. Definitely appreciate you saying that. And it's really cool to hear that people get inspired by something I've done. That means a lot to me to hear that. I wish you the best of luck on your build. Do I need to service the diesel valves in my 128 before tuning? I've got 113K miles. Also, do you know how to get headers without rasp? Um, I mean, you should do that regardless of if you tune or not, because if they fail, um, you may need to replace your engine because the pins will stick in the valves if you're unlucky. So yeah, if say you have $400 to spend, should you get a tune or diesel valves? You should get diesel valves first, and then get a tune once you don't have to worry about that. To get headers without rasp, um, it's definitely trickier to find that balance once you install headers. But mainly, you want to keep have a cat in the exhaust, have a big resonator, and have a 2 3/4 would probably be ideal for sound. Single exhaust and merge it at the transmission mount, um, and then have a decent sized muffler like a Vibrant Street Power. But yeah, it's definitely gets more tricky to not have RAS once you do headers. Can the automatic trans handle velocity stacks with a flash tune in the future? No shops have a dyno nearby for about half a day to a full day of travel. Yeah, yeah, we have plenty of guys in the beta tests with automatic trans. We have GM trans guys and ZF auto trans guys as well. With the velocity stacks. It's not an issue with handling the power. Andres, I'm not saying a swear word. LOL. Okay, just wondering what what that was. Do you track your 330i? If not, do you plan to in the future? Yeah, it's I'm building it for the track. I haven't gone to the track as much as I'd like to. I've been doing a lot of moving the last couple of years and working on my business, Bav Auto Parts, and also N52 development. So I've had like no free time, and the car's always been getting new modifications and stuff. But I'm hoping to have some time next year to really start getting more into it. Um, yeah, just need more free time. Are you running stock internals? Yep. Also, what I mean by write-off waiting to happen is the Vanos cam sprockets can bolt out back out on their own. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Gotta replace those. How easy is it to swap a transmission? It kind of sucks if you don't have a lift. I've taken out and installed transmissions probably a dozen times, um, installing wise on the ground, either on the garage floor and in my yard. And then I've done a bunch when I used to part them out in the dirt, but that was just uninstalling, not installing. It's definitely a decent bit of work, but it's doable if you have tools and jack stands and jack and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, the last time I swapped my transmission on this car, I had access to the lift and a trans jack, and it was incredibly easier. As a BMW tech, I never knew there was an N52 community. Yeah, it's been growing the past few years, for sure. There's been a lot more attention, and I've been trying to draw more attention to the capabilities of the platform. But yeah, kind of, I don't want to say hidden gem, but it's definitely underappreciated in the N54's shadow. What's up, I keep forgetting if it's Sebi or Seba on Instagram. But what's up, man? You wrapped your car in Christmas lights? Nice. Uh, I wanted to do that on mine too, but I was scared I'd scratch the paint. So to service DISA, the only way is to straight up replace them. Yep. Yep. How did you route your intercooler? Would it be easier to just do the meth setup? Well, the meth is by far the easiest route for intercooling or charge cooling, I should say. Um, I'm actually selling my intercooler setup for a supercharger because it doesn't clear my trans cooler, and it was built for a manual car. and I don't really feel like spending the money on relocating an external trans cooler, so I'm just going to sell that. Um, but it does route underneath the car, kind of to this right side of the power steering pump, and both pipes come up from over there. Would you manual swap your car? No. My last car was a manual 135i, and I like the manuals too, but now I live in Seattle and this is my daily, so manual just kind of isn't enjoyable for me to drive here. Versus I used to live in Colorado and I was pretty close to like back roads and stuff like that where I could actually enjoy driving and doing heel toe and actually shifting a manual car how it's meant to be shifted. But I really don't enjoy driving manual in traffic. I'm thinking of committing to a complete engine rebuild that has over 190K miles. Should I? No, just drive it till it breaks. Sebi, yeah, it's the first one. Okay. How long will it take? I'll be doing it on the floor. Is it plug and play? Um, well, I'm assuming you're trying to do the swap that I did, so I'll just send you a link to how to do that. But it's not plug and play. I had to modify stuff, but I do cover it in this article here. Here is the link to the swap I did with the 6HP21 that I got from a N55. How long will it take? It took me. I didn't know all the parts I needed since no one documented how to do it step by step. So I had to wait for parts at one point. But if I had all the parts, it would probably take a day. I use silicone coated string lights and removable vinyl on tape. Nice. Bro, I'm happy to see you doing so well. Hope to see you next year here or there. Miss you too, bro. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too, man. Yeah, I will definitely have to link up next time I'm in town and catch up. It's been way too long since we hung out. And I appreciate you saying you're happy to see me doing well. We'll have to catch up on what's going on with you as well. I want to see what you've been up to. Would it be possible to swap N54 6HP21? Yeah, that's essentially what I did. I did one from an N55, but it would be the same process, and that would be covered in that link I just sent as well. Maybe a random question, but do you have good used part providers? Would you be willing to sell manual swap kits since it's kind of risky to buy one off eBay? Um, I don't part out cars anymore, so I wouldn't have those parts to sell you, although I would love to. Um, it's eBay is probably the best bet, honestly, because you could always do Facebook Marketplace, but you don't have a warranty or any recourse if the parts are bad. eBay, you can get a refund if you get if they sell you something bad. So I would probably just stick with eBay. What amp hour battery does N52 take? I forget what the amp hour is. There's various ones depending on what packages your car has. And it is a calculation of, I believe, reserve hours and cranking amps or something like that. If you Google amp hour calculator, you can find it. But it could be anywhere from an H6 battery to an H8 battery, and you can put whatever battery you want in there. You just have to code it with Pro Tool or something to the amp hours. Last one I put 760 cold cranking amps. Um, yeah, the more cold cranking amps, the better. Like for starting the car wise, if you live in a cold environment. I have a H6 Everstart, and I think it's like 600 cold cranking amps. I forget. How difficult is to find a used N52 for cheap? Just worried if I keep driving hard, the motor will give. They're dime a dozen. They're easy to find on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. Worst case, probably like $1,000 on eBay for a decent one. So yeah, not the end of the world. I gotta head out, but it was good talking to you again, bro. You as well. Take care, dude. Have a good night. After engine swapping my 528i, the transmission is not going to park. Any idea what can be? Um, the shifter, there's a shifter linkage that attaches to the left side of your transmission. Depending on how they pulled your engine, or how you pulled your engine, if the trans was touched, the shifter cable could have been installed while it was in the wrong gear. So you just got to loosen up that shifter linkage. There's a 13 millimeter nut that compresses it into place, and then put the shifter into park and push the transmission selector that's on the left side of the transmission all the way forward to put in park, and then tighten that nut back down. That's the first thing I would check. And I'll probably be answering like 2 more questions, guys. I gotta eat this dinner before it gets cold. If you ever feel wary, you can contact your local BMW dealer, and your parts department should be able to tell you. Yeah, just expensive. Are there any free tunes for my N51 to unlock full potential of stage 3 intake manifold? Unfortunately not. I'm not aware of any free tune for that. Um, do you think there will be cheaper boost kits for the N52 anytime soon? It's hard to say. It's kind of expensive, to boost your car, like, it takes a decent bit amount of parts, like, even if you bought a say, a Vortex supercharger and you fabricated the whole kit yourself, all the pipes, um, and say you did, meth injection and all that, you still need to buy injectors, you still need to buy the blower, which is, like, $4,000 from Vortec just for the supercharger, um and then you need supporting mods. You want to do headers, you want to do injectors, Kohler spark plugs, and then you need a custom tune. And tunes aren't cheap either. So um, I don't think it'll ever be like super cheap. It's kind of just it costs parts cost money is what it really is. The cheapest way you can do it is by doing things yourself and not paying someone to do labor. But parts are going to cost what parts cost, which unfortunately keeps going up with inflation. Um, just like the N54 injectors used to be $1,000, now they're I think 3,500. That's just been a couple of years. What do you think of the N52 as being an alternative to the S54 engine? I think that it can't match the S54's performance. I think the S54 is a bona fide race engine. The N52 can be used for racing, but it was not designed with the intent like the S54 is. Um, yeah, I mean the S54 is a great engine. N52s are really good engines too, but I mean it's the S54 is a legit race engine. So yeah. How to get into autocross? Go to Google autocross near me and um, find a group near you that hosts them and join and just show up. And usually the people there are pretty cool and they'll help teach you what you need to know and help you out. Um, and just get good brake pads and flush your brake fluid. Go out there and drive. Thank you for your content once more, man. Bless. Thanks for watching my content. Appreciate it. There is, but it's risky doing it on your own. There's how-tos on YouTube, but much less straightforward than a 22 RPD tune. For example, and 22 RPD would extract more power. I think you might be thinking of the N52 tune from Bimmer Labs for swapping in the three-stage intake manifold, which is free. Uh, I'm not aware of one for the N51 since it already has the three-stage intake manifold, unless they have added one that I don't know about. Uh, if you guys could hit the like button on here, that really helps me out with the algorithm. Definitely appreciate you guys smashing that like button. Um, do you think the N52 will be able to reach the same power figure that you have with this your supercharged N52 but turbocharged? Yeah, I mean turbocharged. It's simple. You want more power, you add more boost. Super easy. Yeah, you can set whatever power you want. If the engine will take it is another question. Yeah, my bad. That's what I was thinking of. Oh, okay, yeah. So it's the N52 three stage. I'll take one more question, guys, and then I gotta eat these chicken wings. N52 six-speed manual rear-wheel drive, 16 years new. I would seriously suggest learning to drive the N52 at a higher level. Power not the answer to enjoy the perfect balance. Left foot braking and manual. Yeah, yeah, for people just getting into, like, tracking and stuff, the just tracking stock and doing, making sure your brakes are up to par is definitely, the best way to go for, learning how to drive and getting seat time. That's for sure. Alright, guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. This is just a short one. I had some free time. Yeah, thanks for watching, and you guys all have a good night.